United States, indicating what a truly international field we have here at this World Champion of Champions, and a good crowd in. The breeze won't make it easy. And bowling with red bowls but with blue discs on them. There's our Scottish man, Darren Burnett, and Doug Cullitz from Namibia. The only time these two players have met was in sectional play here at this tournament, and the Namibian had a straight sets win. Looks to have a very composed demeanour on the rink. Darren Burnett doesn't look happy with that one. Might take them an end or two, Shuey, to assess the pace.
Both players have had benefit, Steve, of 2 trial ends, so really it's just a nervous start from both players.
I know you like the drawing ability of Doug Cullitz. You think that might keep him in the match here with Darren?
I think the difference, Steve, could be in how Darren Burnett responds with his running shots and conversion shots. Very radical technique, Darren Burnett. Drops the head down and a lot of body weight through the delivery. Likes to attack, Burnett.
That'll lose a couple of metres, and he's done more than that, but it's still a shot with Cullitz.
Very compact delivery, nice fluent backswing, keeps the body and the head very still. Doug Cullitz on the follow through.
And after their third bowl, the players want to have a little bit of a look. Especially with the Jack sitting behind that short Scottish bowl.
Darren Burnett, as just mentioned, he loves to attack. Most players would try to draw this shot, but I think Darren will play weight on the forehand, try to pull the Jack through or rest on the shot bowl just behind Jack high. Very important for Darren's chances to make these early conversion shots.
Well, that's way wide.
That's the way Darren plays.
Mark Cowan, our marker, just removing that bowl from the ditch. So, promising start here, building for Doug Cullitz. Mark Cowan, a winner with Bill Cornell's of Super Pairs. I think that would have been a televised game for us, wouldn't it?
Yes,
a couple of years back.
Many years ago. Mark now at the Sunbury Bowling Club in Victoria.
Well, that one skipping through and going on and on, but it is a shot for Namibia's Doug Cullitz to start this men's final. Champion of Champions. Well, it's pleasing and impressive that so many hardy souls are out in the grandstand again, watching in difficult conditions. It is cool. Doug Cullitz, the way he draws so consistently well, Shu, makes you wonder if he wouldn't also be a great pairs player as a lead.
Yes, he's a good player in all disciplines, Steve. He's won the Namibian Open singles title last year. He's won the Namibian Masters 6 times since 1993. Gold medal in the singles in the African states in 1997.
There's quite a few of the African nations represented here. We've got Botswana and Kenya, Namibia, South Africa, Swaziland, Zambia, Zimbabwe,
and Kenya.
Yep.
Good sign for Darren Burnett, drawing close.
It's Michael Omu from Kenya. He's quite a bowler. Wasn't far off making quarterfinals.
Well, Doe Kellett's trying to spring the jack, bottom left of screen. Only has one bowl near the jack. Can be a dangerous tactic. Darren says, well, I better cover just in case.
So will Doe have another run at it? Second end of the final.
This type of weight, very difficult to play on a Tiff Dwarf green. That's the type of grass here at Moama. A good result.
It's interesting to note across this first Champion of Champions tournament that no player in the men's or women's draw who won their pool made it through to the final. These men, Burnett and Callets, were second and third in Pool B. Topping Pool B was Dennis Streak, father of Zimbabwe cricket captain Heath Streak. And he and Sam Lagutsa, who topped the other pool, missed out. And it's 1 to Scotland's Darren Burnett, squaring things up early in this final. One apiece. I'll ask a little tactical body language question for you, Shuey. If, when you have the mat and you roll the jack, and say you wanted it to roll maximum distance and you're 4 or 5 metres short, do you give try not to give any indication to your opponent that you've actually mucked that bit up?
Oh, well, you certainly don't show your feelings. That's a very good opening bowl. If you do roll the jack to the length you don't want, it's very important, Steve, that you draw your first one close. Then your opponent thinks, oh, that's the length they wanted to play, is it? Keep that in mind, then they'll change the length and they might roll your favourite length back at you.
Yes.
It really is a mind game at this level. Very unusual technique. Darren drops the head right down, looks at his shoelaces almost upon delivering the bowl.
Reminds me rather of the South African spin bowler Paul Adams, who looks at his feet when he's actually in the delivery stride. Never stopped him taking a few test wickets though.
Doe Collets, if he's going to win this final, he will have to outdraw Darren with the opening 2 bowls. Darren has the artillery to retrieve the situation. It would not be a good sign if Doe does not at least match it with Darren on the draw shot. Very aggressive bowler, Burnett. He's a policeman from Dundee.
Now, Mark Cowan believes that Burnett is holding. wind, as it's been throughout the tournament, will chase the bowls down from that end.
Darren Burnett's style of play will not suit Doe Klitz either, Steve. Darren's a bustling type of player, chases every bowl to the head, attacks, very fidgety type of player, whereas Doe is very placid, does not chase too many bowls to the head. If you are playing an opponent that follows the bowl to the head, you must go with them. Don't allow your opponent to completely dominate the rink. Most passionate bowlers in the world, the Scots, sitting the bowl out for 3. Terrific bowl, Darren Burnett.
Well, some pressure now for Doe Klitz. Took the first shot of the match, but then a single reply from Darren Burnett, and he's holding 3 now, the Scotsman. This is an important bowl. It's hanging out there, and he's turned his back on it. Well mighty. That looks to be 3 for Darren Burnett and a 4-1 lead. Wait till Doe Klitz arrives to concede that.
3.
And he does.
3 to blue.
Inevitably. 3 to blue and 4-1 for Scotland. Darren Burnett even rolls the jack with the same style, just dropping the head, looking down at the sphere, leaving the palm of the hand. Irish competitor, Alicia Weir there in the black top, the husband. Knocked out in the semi-finals. Doe Klitz in fairly short order needs to find his best drawing game, because if we feel that Darren Burnett's got the better aggressive and conversion shots, Doe certainly needs to be drawing well, and at the moment he's not even quite doing that.
No, Steve, at this level you need to possess not only good controlled weight but firm running shots and be able to play the full-blooded drive, and Darren Burnett, he's not afraid to attack. And big worry for Darren is his drawing ability at times, but he's drawing well today. Doe does not get the same tough competitive matches that Darren plays in Scotland, both indoor and out. Unlucky result.
Yes, still Scotland holding after that collision with the jack from Doe Klitz.
One thing I absolutely love about the Scottish players, they all seem to have a different technique. They don't receive the formal coaching as bowlers in Australia, and yet the best bowlers in the world, the Scots.
Darren Burnett's going to get to the head before his opponent. What's he got? What's he got? He's picked it up clean. You're shaking your head, Chewy.
Well, Darren Burnett was between Doe Klitz and the jack, and Doe, I don't think he even saw that shot. I saw the result. Darren was walking in Doe's line of vision. Players have possession of the rink. Once they deliver the bowl, they have total possession until their bowl comes to rest. Darren had already shot off up the rink. Now he's 2 down.
I think he must have assumed that Doe would at least follow that to the head. It was quite extraordinary. He was in Doe's line of sight, as you say. Doe was on the mat.
If you're going to walk up, if this bowl's on the right side of the rink, you'd walk up on the left as we are looking, not directly behind the bowl. This has got weight. So a great opportunity now for Doe Kalitz to draw level.
Looking for 3 shots. Pull up to 4 all. Is it there? You bet it is. Great reply from Doe Kalitz in the 4th end to pick up 3 shots and 4 all.
See ya.
With the mat, it's Namibia's Doe Kalitz. Both players so far have picked up a single, treble. Four ends played in the first set. 4 apiece. I know you often, sure, you like to ask the players before we see them in a televised game where they take their line. I was just thinking for Darren, who looks at the ground as he's actually delivering, I guess he takes a line before that, but it is quite unusual technique.
Yes, a lot of players can use the angle of the foot on the mat, but Darren is what you call an eye dropper. He drops his eyes at the point of delivery. Gets the body motion going through the correct line. You'll notice that he follows off over the mat and off the mat in the line that he wants the bowl to go. So that technique can almost allow you to close your eyes, just think about the weight. His line's very good. Very tricky conditions today in this final. It's a fluky breeze, gusty at times.
A little closer. Similar line to his previous bowl.
Darren will take off after this bowl, no doubt. Go all the way to the head. The rule says when your bowl stops rolling, you must be beyond jack high or behind the mat, not in the middle of the rink. Darren's making an effort to get back, and that's good to see.
It's perhaps his poorest bowl of the match so far, but he is holding one.
Trail on the jack, not that Doe would be trying it, Steve, but a touch on the jack here could make 4 shots.
Good try, but it'll roll through, and still 1 to Burnett with 1 to play. Certainly get the impression that Darren's a kind of player who likes to dictate the pace, dictate the way a match is being played. He's got quite a physical presence on the rink.
Like most Scottish players, plenty of enthusiasm.
Perhaps the policemen get lessons in assertive body language. What do you think, Shuey?
They definitely would, Steve. I'd like to be on the wrong side of the law in Scotland, Dundee.
It is 1 to Scotland. It's a 5-4 lead to Burnett over Kalitz. ends played, settling in on a chilly afternoon to watch this Champion of Champions final. Barely a word out of the lips of our two finalists, Darren Burnett and Doe Callets. No questions of the marker. Darren Burnett with a slim advantage, but looking in other ways to dominate the match through the first 5. That's a poor bowl from Doe Callets.
Very animated technique, Darren. Riding every bowl to the head.
Well, they're certainly mixing them up.
Very difficult to beat a player like Darren Burnett if you just remain at the mat end for the entire match. It's a very good correction from Doe.
And off he goes.
Oh, must not be very good, Steve. He stopped.
Tends to be the giveaway, doesn't it? Like to follow his third if it's worth chasing. This one he's not so keen about.
Burnett will be after the red disc bowl if Doe Callets fails here. Tactically, you need to anticipate what your opponent is likely to play so that you can cover the danger. Good result.
And again, Burnett first to the head. He's chasing the Doe Callets bowl faster than the owner.
Yeah, he's holding one, Steve, but he's a greedy player, Burnett. He'll want more than one. It's the way he plays. He's got the back bowl, bottom of screen. He might try a risky shot here, Darren. He could play 3 metres of weight, look for the inside edge of that bowl and come off and take this other bowl out. It's maybe worth the risk. He could make 4 shots if he gets it, Burnett. It's the style of play that he's accustomed to playing. Likes to go for the big, spectacular shots. He's playing some type of weight. Good miss.
He was narrow, wasn't he? Could have been a disaster.
Now, Doe Callets, let's see what type of shot he plays now.
So he's trailing in the match by a shot.
He's got a good shot on here, Steve. 1 down, 2 seconds. He should try to convert. 1 behind in the match to date. He should play the same type of shot as Darren, looking for the edge of this shot bowl out of the head for a count of 2, maybe 3. An absolute disaster if he slices the jack, however. He'll be 3 down if he gets the jack and does not stay with it.
Breeze has just backed off for the moment. Will that assist Doe Callets to make a key conversion here? Swinging across. Got nothing. And it'll be 1 to Scotland. And a 2-shot lead after 6 ends of the first set of the men's Champion of Champions final. Darren Burnett has won 4 of the 6 ends played, but only a 2-shot leader.
very hard to beat Darren Burnett if he should win this end.
It's running on. Lana is a fiancée of Doug Callets with a sensational Adelaide tracksuit from 1996.
World Bowls, Lockleys Club. Darren Burnett correcting beautifully onto the jack. Well, maybe a target.
Last bowl, jack level.
Half a bowl in front.
Clear, quick response from Mark Cowan. Called into action for just about the first time in the match.
Playing controlled weight. Callets looking for the jack through. Would have preferred to have kept the bowl on the green. Got to ask yourself when you're playing those type of shots, what happens if I miss? It's already 2 down. Doe Callets. I don't think Darren Burnett will try to cover the back. He'll go for the jugular and draw a third.
Yes, indeed he does. That's looking at 9-4. Unless Doe Callets can do something about it. Still has 2 to play.
Easier, Steve, to have a flat-out drive than to swing in this wind. Such a difficult shot to play. 4 or 5 metres of grass. It's now Doe Callets has dug an awful big hole for himself. Darren Burnett just slowing the game down, staying at the head, saying, well, I'll let you sweat a little longer up there, mate. Holding 3 would be good enough for the first set, one would think. Ideally, beat the bowl bottom of screen. Hold 4, don't get too close. Try to bring Doe back onto the draw shot rather than the attacking shot, which is easier to play in these conditions.
Wants 4. Now that's not a bad looking target.
Well, it's got to be hit, Steve. Better to have them, but juicy target. Full-blooded drive. Jack into the ditch. Oh, controlled weight. Too tough a shot.
And he has missed everything. It was not really the best weight to be playing at that. And looking at 4 there for the Scotsman. And Doe Callets doesn't even want to look, but he has to. 3 without any dispute. And he will go about the measure.
Four.
And it is 4. Well, that is just about the first set in the bag at 10-4. Sunny, but not very warm. Well, again and again through this tournament, we've seen how a player well beaten in a first set can come back. Well, the first set's not quite over with, but really, Doug Callett to have any even slight chance. He needs 3 or 4 in this 8th end. And David Corkill, as you join us, you wouldn't give Doug Callett too much chance of that.
No, I don't think so. Darren will be aware of the fact that he'll close this end down. Be prepared to lose 1, maybe 2. Loses 1, the set's over. He'll be happy with that.
Interesting tactic employed by Darren. He's rolled the jack a lot shorter, anticipating what Dow Callett may play when he gets control of the mat in the next set.
Not only that, Sherry, but if Bill puts a very tight number of balls into the jack, he can drive it off at the shorter distance.
Quite often find a player when the set or the match is almost gone, they play better bowls. They relax immediately, think, well, the set's gone, and they start drawing near the jack. Darren will be too worried. There's gaps around the jack, so Burnett cannot really drive at the moment. Still 2 down. Heart rate has just picked up a few beats for Darren Burnett.
Well, Doug Callett really has to make them all count. And they'll probably still do. Yes, that's 3. A little bit of anxiousness, I'm sure, for
There's
Darren Burnett.
Big gap there, Steve, on the right-hand side of the jack. Darren looks at the scorecard. 10-4. What happens if I miss? I go 4 down. 10-8. Really, there's 2 bowls on the left-hand side of the jack just to draw on.
Is that right shoulder getting a bit tight?
The draw would normally be the right shot, but I think he'll be aware of the fact if he takes a couple out, the set will be okay. Interesting to see what shot he decides on.
He's driving.
So he might have a pop at it.
All right, how accurate is he? He's got 1.
Given the conditions, that was the right type of shot to play. Too hard to draw, gusty wind.
So, Doug Callett, even if he only scores the 2 here, will at least force it to a 9th end. What he wants is 3, just to have some chance. Oh dear. Oh no. Has he given back 1? He's got 2. Maybe only 1.
1. That's it.
Oh, this is only 1. Well, the camera angle was deceiving a little, and that is the set. 10-5 to Darren Burnett of Scotland. Takes the first set of the men's final. Fans here, a few of them Scottish by the look of their tracksuit tops, have seen their man take the first set. 10-5. He's been a dominant figure on the rink, and he's sent down a rather ordinary first bowl of the second set. So perhaps Doug Callett can use that as a springboard for a change of momentum. good.
Quite extraordinary, Darren Burnett. He's such a great international singles player. When he wastes so many bowls. Look at that first bowl, at 4 metres away, and yet he has this ability to win major titles. He's won 2 Scottish outdoor singles championships. He's also played singles in the Commonwealth Games at Manchester, reached the quarter-final. Represents Scotland both indoors and out. Plays second to the legendary Willie Wood in the outdoor side, and third to Graham Robertson, Scottish indoor. Doak Callett's bowling well.
And Burnett's after those two. He's got to come around his own short bowl and does not. Wow.
One in the ditch, 3 metres away, and he's still attacking.
Doak Callett's potentially a good start to this second set. He's want to fatten the target yet again. That's what he has done. Callett's won't be all that happy.
Well, it's a very, very juicy target for a player like Darren Burnett. He's he's in a rush to get back to the mat. He'll pick up his bowl and he will just rip right through the middle here, try to put the jack into the ditch. If he misses, he'll miss to the 2 bowls, take both those bowls out. Good shot on here for the Scotsman.
Well, 9 times out of it, 10 with a target that big, he's going to hit something. Oh, was this the time he misses? It is. That was the 10th time.
Wow.
Well, his earlier drive was much more accurate, right up the centre line, but of course he crashed onto his own bowl.
Doak Callett's pinching himself. Could not believe that miss. He's got a chance for a maximum count of 4. And these are the type of shots you need to make just to rub salt into Darren Burnett's wound, make him pay dearly for that miss. And Doe does not like it.
It's come out a bit hot. Through it goes, and he'll have to be satisfied with 3. That's a bad miss into. Oh no, didn't go in the ditch, but doesn't matter. It's 3. 3 to Callett's to start the second set.
Thanks.
Doak Callett's, Darren Burnett, 28 and 27 years old. Callett's, I wonder if he'll rue the miss on that previous end. He could have had 4 and had to content himself with 3. Well, sounds like the train's coming, Shuey.
The goods train through the club here at Moama. 3 greens on one side of the railway line, 2 on the other.
Yes, as you progress from one side of the club to the other, you've got to look left and right for trains. Can't be too many bowling clubs in the world where that's the case. The driver's letting everyone know he's approaching the Moama Bowling Club if anyone wants to jump off, but it is sure he says it'll be a good strain. Blue disc red bowl of Scotland. That is the shot at the moment. Not now. And that's prompted Darren Burnett to go and have a look. I think that's a good move. Doug Callett's going for a walk himself.
Part of the tactics. If your opponent walks to the head, you must go with them. Well, we know Darren Burnett loves to attack, Steve, but he's really got to say to himself, what happens if I take that bowl out, my own bowl? You could peel off that. This bowl is third shot, so that will count. Potentially, he'll end up 3 or more than 1 down, but knowing Darren, he'll want to get the shot. Backhand draw is the safer option. He's playing backhand, but looks to be slightly more than draw weight. Looking at turning the shot bowl out. Needs to clear the front. Sometimes get greedy. You can drop more than one.
And it's still only the one, though, for Callett's. That could have been worse for Burnett.
Best shot now for Doe would be to play tight on the backhand, promote his own bowl, or better still, just turn that bowl out over 2 or 3 times and stay for a count of 3. Some risk associated with it. Leading 3-0. It's a good time to take a risk.
Just a touch timid on it. One still to play for Burnett, with his opponent holding, and a 3-0 lead to Namibia in the second set. Burnett too good in the first, 10-5. Trailed after the first end, but not after that.
Darren Burnett, I want to see Darren pointing the toe in this direction and that direction. He's got to be careful he does not take his own bowl out on the left-hand side of the jack. That second shot. This is the type of head where 1 down is a good result. But he's attacking.
And what's he got? Not much.
Almost removed his own bowl from the head.
1 red.
1 to red, and 4-0. Second set to Doe Callett's after a couple of ends. I'm sure the crowd here at Moama would like to see this one go the distance into these exciting 3-end tie breaks. Doe Callett's, to make that happen, needs to win this second set, and he's got a useful lead early, 4-0. Very quiet, undemonstrative, and he's probably run into plenty of players, I suppose, like Darren, who are more animated than he is.
Yes, Stephen, sometimes it's difficult to play against a player that's quiet and unassuming. You just sometimes cannot quite get a handle on how they're feeling, whether they're sweating or worrying. It's very unassuming. Very good technique, quite fluent, which is good for these rather fast tiffed dwarf greens, Moama.
Yes, he gives so little away, Doe Kellett. I wonder if he wouldn't be quite a good card player. If you could just get a bid out of him.
Darren, well, he's a slap on the thigh. He's not happy with that. If you're not playing well, even bluff is a good tactic at times. Make out you're playing well. Walk back as if you meant that bowl. Get one behind early and then draw the shot.
Kellett's again holding 2 and a 4-0 lead in the second. Sun bursting through quite brightly here in the third end.
Darren Burnett needs to be careful now. He's only got 2 bowls left. His nearest bowl's 2.5 metres beyond the jack. He wants to attack.
I think he wants a drink.
The brain says draw. The heart says drive. That's a tight grip. It's a drive.
Not quite as much weight on as previously. Well, took 1.5 out.
It's a lucky result. It's the way he plays. Gay abandon.
Now Kellett's just to reapply some pressure. Will look to draw again.
He needs a really close bowl, Steve, because Darren must come back to the draw now, surely.
And that's what he's done. Windy conditions, a bowl that close, certainly effective.
There's not too many bowlers in the world, Steve, that would have a drive at this head, except maybe Darren Burnett.
Is that your tip?
You've got to go 1 down. Absolute worst case scenario. Draw second shot. Crazy decision to drive, but he's a confident player. He's got 2 bowls at the back of the rink.
He's heard you. Might be a bit crazy, but crazy like a fox.
Hard to come back to a dead draw.
Might nearly have done it though. Oh, 1 down. 1 to red. And well, Doe Kellett's, the good news for him is the lead is still building and he's kept Burnett scoreless in this second set. Well, the sun is out, but you can see there have been some threatening clouds around. The locals assure us we won't get wet. Well, we won't anyway in here. We're in the commentary box, but fortunately there has been during the season a bit of rain to ease the recent drought. On our way up here it looked a lot greener than it had been in previous visits to Moama the last couple of years. Not too much concern though to visitors from Scotland or Namibia. It's probably pretty dry in Windhoek, I imagine, in the Namibian capital much of the time. Maybe not in Dundee.
Great effort from Doe Kellett's Vendog Country Club where he plays. There's only 25 bowlers there. It's a casino and a golf course as well. 2 bowling greens.
We know that Darren Burnett's the type of player who loves to come from behind in the count. 5-0 against him. That won't bother him. Callets must keep him out of this second set. He picks up a couple here, and it's game on again for Burnett, and a possible straight sets win.
He loves a good scrap, Darren Burnett, but these tiebreakers, it's like Russian roulette.
Burnett still holding, according to our marker, Mark Cowan. Three or 4 seconds only between when Burnett's bowl came to rest and Callett's delivering.
Most top singles players can group bowls, but Darren is spreading them far and wide at the moment.
Does fiancée Ilana looking a little worried. First set went to the opponent, but her man is leading in the second.
Does not want to slice the jack down the line.
Which he has. What a gift.
Absolute disaster, Darren Burnett.
Well, it was an alarm. And he's given away 3 by slicing the jack. Well, that is just about the second set gone. A lead of 8-0 now. 3 lollipops held up by Mark Cowan. 8-0 to Callets. Might bring a smile to the face of Ilana. Well, Doe Callets, he's doing a fair bit right in this second set and getting just a little bit of assistance from his opponent to be in that wonderful position. 8-0. 2 threes, couple of singles, and a pretty fine opening bowl in the 5th end of the second.
Namibian train driver, he's happy.
The paddle wheel. Paddle wheel is shooting.
Very important now for Darren to bounce back.
Yes, for viewers who are not familiar with where we are, this town of Moama is right on the Murray River, and paddle wheelers chuff up and down, part of the tourism, and in the past the trade activities of the area. It was the biggest inland port in Australia in about 1900.
Got a question now, Steve, how Darren is feeling mentally after drawing for 2 and ended up giving 3 shots away on the last end. A few self-doubts creeping into the mind.
Well, Doe Callets has actually won the last 5 ends. Picked up a single at the end of the first set, which went to his opponent, and the first 4 ends of the second. So he's got a good run happening here. Burnett holding now, though. Callets looks wide. And it comes, maybe. No, still Scotland.
He always plays 1 per end at least, doesn't he, Darren? Had everything to gain by arriving to his opponent's bowl.
I'll tell you what, for once, Callets is first to the head, and that is an indication that Darren Burnett is feeling less keen about the contest than he was in the first set, where you couldn't keep him away from the head, to the point where at one delivery it totally obscured the view of Callets, who just bowled.
Yes, it's unusual to see Darren chasing his opponent's bowl to the head. Big shot this for just the maintain momentum. One down.
And he looks away in some disappointment, Callets. Might not be too bad.
Sometimes you draw the shot when you look away, Steve. Might have been a tactic.
Oh, wow. That's the first smile we've seen from him. He really didn't like that out of the hand. Had that Scottish bowl rolled over instead of fallen out, it would have been a different story.
Darren Burnett, he will not drop short this time.
Hasn't registered a score in the second set, Scotsman. Having a bit of a run. Oh, he might have got a result. And he gets applause from Doug Callets for that. Played the right way to make something happen, and what he got was a shot. So a good conversion, and the first shot in the second set for Darren Burnett, but still trails 8-1. Very careful. Mark Cowan puts the jack on the centre line. Darren Burnett gets one away with his opponent standing there, hands in the pockets, as is his way. And 8-1. The quiet man leads. Shuey, is this the kind of scenario where if we went to a tie-break, you would favour Darren because of his aggressive conversion capabilities?
Well, in theory, yes, Steve, because even if Darren's not feeling that confident, he will bluff. He will look confident. And three-end shootout, and it's all about taking your chances, and Darren is not afraid to take a risk. However, Doe Callets, he's drawing well. Must be said that Doe has completely outplayed Darren on this second set. You would think a tiebreaker is on the cards, and David Corkill, guest commentator from Ireland, who would you pick in the event of a tiebreaker, Corky?
Well, I think the three-end showdown really suits that swashbuckling attitude of Darren Burnett. But you have to bear in mind that Darren gave away 3 of the shots in this set. When he was line 1 trying to draw for 2, it could have been a different situation. But he's really intriguing to watch, this guy.
He's attacking once more. This is what happens when the luck is not with you.
There's a bit of Rob Perella about him, Shuey.
Oh, no, that's a draw shot for Rob. Rob would have put the jack into the crowd. He's the best hitter in the world, Ron Perella. Darren plays more controlled weight. He's very animated though, Darren. He's great to watch.
Oh, watch out. Here comes 3 shots at the moment. Both got one to play still. That's a happy sight to greet Doe Callets as he arrives. The 3 markers in his colour.
Very tough head to get out of now. No realistic chance of driving. Well, he could drive, but tactically he should draw on the backhand, rest one of the 2 opposition bowls out, how would he be feeling? He'd be absolutely stoked. Joe Kellett's adrenaline be pumping. Biggest match of his career.
Well, it'll be big news back in Namibia if he pulls it off, but that's a long way off yet. Here comes another one with plenty of heat. Takes 2 out. It's still the lead will be 8, possibly 9, because we've still got 1 to play for Doe Callets. He's probably got 100 thoughts racing through his mind, but I think we've heard him say about 2 things in the whole match. Juggling the towel, hoping for another one here. Just racing through though, and it won't stop. But he's still in a very, very strong position in the second set as he adds another, and 9-1 is the lead for Namibia's Doe Callets. Darren Burnett, the first set, 10-5. Callets has won 6 of the last 7 ends, and Corky, I wonder if you'd agree with what Shuey was suggesting earlier, that when you're playing someone like Doe Callets, who gives so little away, it can be a little bit frustrating. You don't know what he's thinking. He's just quietly going about the business.
Yeah, well, quite often that's just the case with these players. You just play your own game. I think it's more important to try and rattle them in terms of the pace of the game, try and slow it down or speed it up. This guy doesn't seem to be an awful lot to make him flinch.
A real test of Doe Callett's nerve in the tiebreaker. Burnett, we know he loves a scrap. He's got one on his hands today.
Burnett trailing by 8 in the 7th end, so he does need to be next to score here to keep this set bubbling along.
I think that's the way he's going to beat Doe Callets if he is to win this match. He's got to beat Doe on the draw.
Well, that's what he was doing in the first set too, wasn't it? Doe was a bit off his draw that was so good in the semi-final. He's just lost it a little here in the 7th end.
He's a showman, Burnett, which is great for the game. You drive for show, draw for Doe, and at the moment he's back on the draw, and that's a good sign.
Draw for Doe, okay.
The folding stuff that goes in the back pocket.
Yes, yes. Well, Doe draws for Doe too, eh?
Well, actually,
2 inches.
Doe Callets, he's a sales consultant for a printing company. They actually print corporate stationery and cheques.
See, he said he was prepared to print some cheques for us. He said, I'll print some signatures too, if you like.
It's his second trip to Australia. Played in World Bowls Adelaide 1996. And he's playing like a winner. Look at Darren Burnett. Quick look at the scorecard. How am I going to score more than one?
Any contact with his shot bowl, of course, he risks giving the shot away.
That's the way he plays, though, Steve. You've got to admire the guy. I think he'll try and find the gap with Wade. He's trying to turn this bowl out of the head just to bring his other bowl over here on the left into the count. It's fraught with danger. Doesn't mind taking a risk. Well, he's got Wade.
No, he's trying to slice his own into the count, but it looks like one, and Darren Burnett agrees. One was really only enough to push us to an 8th end, not really enough to get him back into contention. Trails by 7. Darren Burnett. Well, a 3 and a 4 will win him the match, but he's only got 2 singles so far in the second set. So Corky wouldn't think that's really on the cards.
No, I don't think so, Steve. He'll not worry about it too much. He'll concentrate on drawing. Try and force the last end if he can.
So Burnett needs 3 to force it to a 9th end in the second set. And I don't think Doug Callets would like to have to play the 9th end.
I don't think you'll mind too much, Steve. The set's pretty well safe at the moment. Even if Doe does drop a 4 on this end, still be 3 in front playing the last. Have to absolutely choke to lose this second set. He's playing too well to do that.
Second shot.
Both players would be thinking about the tiebreaker. What length to play, what tactics to employ. Good bowl from Burnett, just behind the jack.
Corky, I wonder if you were Callets and knowing Burnett as well as you do, what tactics would you go for in the tiebreak?
Well, Darren will obviously attack the head. His tactics in this set have been absolutely perfect. Just keep drawing away to it. Force Darren into playing the weight shots. He's been unsuccessful on a number of occasions. The more he misses, the more doubts come into his mind.
One thing, Corky, you wouldn't do against Darren is put the jack on the tee.
I wouldn't do that, and I wouldn't put anything jack high either, unless there was a big gap between the jack and the bowl.
Maybe Burnett's biggest weakness is his boldness.
Well, it's a roller coaster ride with Darren, that's the problem. That's an excellent ball by Doe. That really covers everything. It's an absolute beauty.
Yes, not only protected the head, he's actually cut the count, or any danger of a count. Perfect position. Darren will have to maybe hit and hope now.
He'll try and kill this if he can.
Interesting to see if Doe wins the toss on the tie break, whether he takes the mat
Burnett. Needs 3, remember. Force it to a 9th end. I don't think he'll get it out there. So that should be the set.
Who's calling?
And it is.
Sorry. 8s, please.
It's the set to Doug
Tails,
Callets.
Darren Burnett has won the mat. Will he give it away?
By the way, that was 1 to Darren Burnett to round off the second set. Won 9-3 by his opponent. 10-3, 9-3. 9-3 it was. Well, we saw the women's final go to a tie-break, so it will be with the men. Who will crack? Who will make the error? Who will make the great shot?
Darren Burnett, Steve, he's won the toss and given the mat away. First bowl, so important in every end, but especially so first end of a tiebreaker.
And he hasn't let himself down, Doug Callets. That's useful. You wouldn't think it would be the shot at the end of 8 bowls, but it's not a bad start.
Sometimes you see wayward bowls, Steve, in tight situations. The nerves creep in, the heart's pumping, the mind is racing with thoughts. Hard to maintain composure, especially if you're inexperienced like at this level. Doug Callets is playing well.
Well, there'd be cause for celebration in African bowls if he can get up here with Swaziland's Liz James, a shock winner of the women's event. Maybe Namibia can join the party.
Well, that's a nervous one. Darren played a good line with his first bowl, a wider line with his second. Mark Cowan, our marker. 2 to Callets. Callets, you only need 1 shot, of course. It's not how many shots you score. First player to win 2 ends. It's the first nervous one he's played.
And I think maybe he's using that little towel to hide how he's feeling a little bit, or something to chew on. Yes, there's a bit of tension on the rink here at Moama. We're in the closing stages of this men's Champion of Champions inaugural world event. All the players here have recently won their national singles title. Great bowl, sensational bowl from Darren Burnett. Producing it when it's needed. He'd had a couple of different bowls to start this first end of the tiebreak. Now he's drawn his opponent down to, well, halfway down the rink to have a look.
It's really only 1 shot on, Steve. Just over draw weight, bowl or jack on the backhand. Come in at this angle, hopefully play a tight line. bowl or jack, half a metre of running.
Come on.
It's got something, Well played, great courage, good skill. Joe Callets hands the challenge back to his opponent, and Darren Burnett slaps his thigh in appreciation of what his opponent's done here. Just squeezed the jack onto the shot bowl and had it move towards his own.
Steve, how's his heart rate? Cannot see the jack there. Black bowl on the left-hand side of the line. He will try to burn the end, kill the end. Full-blooded drive. It is possible to drive. That's looking from the mat end. He'll drive at the bowl on the left-hand side of the jack. He could take both Callett's bowls clean out or a kill.
Oh, gee. Arrived with plenty on it, but couldn't change the result. It's a smiling Joe Callets who picks up the jack and says, I'll take that first end of the tie-break. Oh, a very interesting one it was. So Namibia one up in the tie-break and with the mat. Callett's fiancée, Ilana, hoping for the best, hoping that maybe in this second end of the tie-break, Doe can wrap it up. Corky, what do you think?
Well, he proved the last end he played the hardest shot in the book when it comes to this rink. 3-4 yards on with a very tight shot against him. No reason why he can't do the same again.
Tactically, it may be the end for Doe Callets to take a little risk if he's actually down playing his last bowl. He knows this match will at least go to 3 ends. He's got the opportunity to win the World Champion of Champion singles title on this end. What would he give for a resting front toucher on the jack?
It's a measure, very close, says Mark Cowan.
Tough shot on the backhand. Darren Burnett cannot rest on the shot bowls, or less chance of resting a bowl on the backhand. He's drawn the shot. Brilliant.
Onto the mat quickly, Doe Callets. Just a touch much on it.
I'd like to see Doe walk to the head. He'd be quite surprised how much room there is to draw the shot. It must look very bad from the mat end. All the bowls practically on the line. Is when you need to walk to the head. Have a look. That's the view from the mat end, and that's a high angle, so jack almost hidden from view from both players.
Burnett must win this end, remember, to force it to the third and final end of the tie-break. And he's holding. Last bowl of the second end for Doe Callets. Burnett won't need to play his last if this is no good.
Needs a little slide to run through. He's got it!
Oh, they've gone too far. No, it's the shot. It is the shot, according to Mark Cowan.
Nerves of steel to dead draw. Got the friendly slide. And now... somebody has just fainted. What?
They've dropped their bundle. And Darren Burnett will be hoping it's not him that drops his.
And look at the big gap between the jack and the shot bowl. It's a monstrous gap. Burnett, does he draw? Does he drive? Match down.
Darren Burnett of Scotland winding up, a gasp from the crowd. He steps back. They can't believe he's driving. Kisses that ring on the right ring finger, as he often does before the bowl. Stand back, folks. This to stay in the championship.
Side.
What a shot! Well played. Took some courage. Alicia Weir of Ireland can't believe it. He's done it. And to the third end of the tiebreak we go. Like the women's event, it's going the full distance. Those nails are being bitten down to nothing. Alana can barely watch fiance Doe Cullets. One end to play.
At least Doe Cullets will have the last bowl. May not even have to play it. This will not be the match winner. Burnett, Steve, he must be absolutely pumped after that good drive on the previous end, but it's not over yet.
And when we were watching the women's final, and Liz James's husband Derek, he was a wreck as his wife came through to win, and it looks like Ilana's suffering in a similar way.
3 feet.
Really, Darren should think about switching to the backhand. He's persisting on the forehand. Short bowl, a metre out. It's corrected well. I think Doe Cullets is composed and good enough to draw the shot.
Well, it's his drawing ability that's got him to the final. He cannot hold up under this kind of pressure. Looks pretty good. Looks very good.
Magnificent bowl, but is the gap wide enough? I doubt it. Burnett, he will be attacking bowl or the jack, he won't mind. It would have actually been better for Dow to have been 15 centimetres further away from the jack. He would make this shot more than 50% of the time, Burnett. Delicate weight. This is tough weight to play. Well, poor weight.
Wow. He's feet away from the target. Corky, what was he thinking?
Oh, he was playing controlled weight, Steve, inside the front bowl to turn the ball out, but I think he was in between shots a little bit. He didn't have the exact shot in mind. No good doing that. You have to be sure of what you're going to do. But the problem that Doe has now is the position. Best back against him, and he's only got one in the head. He needs another one in there.
Will have the benefit of last bowl, Doe Cullets. Title would most likely be his if he could draw a second shot and if this bowl finishes away from the shot bowl. just cross the line and count would be ideal. Maybe good enough.
And again, a little clap of the thigh from Burnett, even under the pressure of this final end. Good sportsmanship from Burnett.
He's got to attack the jack, Steve. The best result maybe would be both bowls. Swing narrow off the short bowl onto the second bowl. Jack into the ditch. Tough shot to make when you are matched down.
Well, he was matched down in the previous end. Forced it to this third and deciding end. Can he do it again? A hush over the rink at Moama. Doesn't like it. Doesn't like it, but Doug Gallants does. He throws his cap in the air.
Thank you.
And Doug Gallants is our champion.
Great game.
It was a good game. Ilana is delighted. Onto the rig she comes. Well, a great moment. A long way to come from Namibia. And a mighty title to win. The inaugural champion of champions is Doug Gallants, beating Darren Burnett in the tiebreak.
Doug, just on, probably worth a fortune, won't it? Thank you.
Thanks. It was a great game. Best game I ever played in my life. Really.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for a on-the-green presentation.
Yeah.
Once again, congratulations are in order to Doug Gallants from Namibia, World Singles Champion 2003.
Well, that was our final program for Super Series on ABC Sport this year. We hope you've enjoyed the year with us. It's been a lot of fun and we look forward to your company again in 2004. I'm Steve Rebellion on behalf of Ian Schuback, David Corkill and Steve Boylan. Goodbye for now.
Can we bring the table out to the middle? Just a quick mock up. I'll leave this here, Slats, because I'm just going to grab the mock.
Recording, stand by, and
Well, we were treated to a wonderful match, and Doe, congratulations! You really turned it on today.
Thanks, yeah. It was great playing here. It was great being here. It's just amazing. Yeah.
Well, Darren, he's not an easy opponent. He made it tough for you.
That's the second time of the week he's beat me. He played very well. I started the first set well, and then Doe from there on really dominated. I was really just hanging in, I felt, at that point.
And going to the tiebreaker, Doe, where you seem to be, well, I suppose, a last bowl specialist.
Yeah, well, it was great. I mean, luckily the second set I played well, so I was quite confident playing the tiebreaker. So, yeah, great shot there on the first tiebreaker, I thought.
And it seems a little bit like not many players in Namibia, a bit like the minnows versus the sharks, I suppose. Just a wonderful achievement for you.
Oh, yes, the best. I mean, this has been amazing. Yeah.
Well, congratulations to both of you for a wonderful match, and to the new world champion. Well done.
Thanks a lot. Thank you.
All right.